Hello again everyone, and welcome back to Skyblock News. I'm your host Derailious, and today we're going to be talking about Skyblock Update 0.20.3, the Better Mayors update. I will not be covering literally everything in this update line by line, as I already did so a month ago when it first came out on Alpha, and that video will be linked in the description, as well as on screen now for you to enjoy, because I'm going to be honest, pretty much nothing has changed from then. Aside from that though, there is a bunch of information about both Foraging, future updates, and also some of the changes that they had to make here, so I will be covering those in this video for you guys to enjoy now. Without any further ado though, let's launch right into this. Starting off here, the most fundamental change is that many mayors now have 4 total perks. As well, many others have had their entire lineup of perks revamped, which is all detailed further in the thread, and hasn't changed since it originally came out on Alpha, so once again you can go to that other video which I have linked down below. The amount of perks that a mayor has generally been increased in every single mayor election, and there's the new minister system. How the minister system works is that if a mayor gets second place, so let's just say Diaz gets second place in the election, this starred perk will be active, so that is volume trading. While that main mayor will have every perk active, Diaz will have this specific volume trading perk active and nothing else from this list. This allows players to be more strategic with how they want to set up their mayors, and I really do like the system. There's also this new visibility system. Basically, every single election, you can either see or not see the amount of votes for each mayor. This allows you to be more strategic once again. If you disagree with the larger community, you don't have to just click the one that everyone else is going to be clicking. Hopefully it makes things a little bit more competitive, and we see some more different mayors more frequently. In terms of general changes here, there is now an individual sea creature cap of 5 on the Crimson Isle and 20 in the Crystal Hollows due to barn fishers, which is what they state here. There's also a lot of lava fishing stat changes. Generally, a lot of the lava sea creatures are way weaker now. Pretty much all of them have had their health at least halved. Some of them have gone down by 75% or even more. So keep that in mind, it should be convenient for people who like fishing. And also a lot of the starter lava rods and the other lava rods in general have had their damage greatly increased. Really nice stuff here. Next up, another general change is that there's a new perk for Diana, which is Sharing is Caring, which allows you to have up to 3 XP shared pets at once. And you might be asking, how does that actually work? Well, now there's a new system in which you can go into your pets menu and you can assign pets to be XP shared. This happens while Diana is mayor or not, but while Diana is in office with Sharing is Caring, 2 more XP share slots will work, and you also get a bonus to the amount of XP you share. And you can buff the amount of XP you share by just getting a higher taming level, making it even more important to do so. This is a super convenient system that I love. Really nice stuff here. You can also now favorite pets, so keep that in mind. Another more general change is that there's a bunch of new items you can find at the Forge. They are basically 3 new sets of mining equipment. They are very solid. The top tier set requires you to get glossy gemstones, which you get from Cole's new perk, Mining Fiesta, which is just the old Mining Fiesta, but a lot better. And also it gives you glossy gemstones, which is like refined minerals, but glossy and gemstones. Next up we have the Carnival. Once again, went over all of this in the previous video, so make sure to check it out if you're not understanding a certain part of it. I do go in depth. But the TLDR here is, while Shiverers Carnival is active, you can get party chests and party gifts. They outright replace things like trick-or-treat chests, and they give you carnival-related items like these masks. They're pretty nice, I'm not even gonna lie, and you can also get some pretty cool items out of it with carnival tickets. This is another part of the system. The TLDR for how this works is that you can use the tickets to play mini games like fruit digging, like for example catch a fish, like zombie shootout, and then you can get points that you can use in the store, and then you can get upgrades for a bunch of different events and things like that. There's also a mask shop, as you can see here, so a bunch of new masks. None of the masks are too crazy, I'm not gonna lie, but you can get this bag, which allows you to get some intelligence, which is pretty neat for the system as a whole. There's also specific goals you can go for during the carnival. Once again, it's not too crazy of an event, all things considered. When Foxy is mayor and the carnival comes around, I will be making a video covering all of this again in depth. for people who want to understand it. But if the event is not active right now, which it isn't at day 1, I don't think it matters a huge amount because none of this content right now is accessible. Lastly, in terms of general stuff, the TLDR for Diaz is that now you can get things like Stock of Stonks. They've added a bunch of new accessories and things like that to be utilized with Stock of Stonks. And also there's more Shen's Auction. In general, it seems like Shen's Auctions will be offered twice a year instead of just once, and if you get Diaz with volume trading, it'll double the number of Shen's Auctions again for a total of 4. That is super nice. You also get double the items, and a new permanent item will be added to Shen's Special. I believe that's the Shimmer Sparkle chestplate, the one with a bunch of gemstones that I went over in a previous video, but I could be wrong. We'll have to wait and see on that one. There's also a bunch of new items related to Stock of Stonks. Once again, when Diaz comes around as mayor, I will be making a specific video talking about all of this information, but for now, if you want to get caught up, there's a ton of videos on the channel that already go in depth on this. Derpy no longer has the ability to fully shut down the auction house. He will simply quadruple the amount of taxes that you have to pay from the bazaar and auction house respectively, which is really, really interesting. In my opinion, it's definitely preferred to shutting down the auction house entirely. Jerry has also removed Diaz from Perkpocalypse for a specific reason, and that reason is that the Stonks auction, which is a new part of Diaz, wouldn't work in the short time span that, Jerry would make her mayor, so that totally makes more sense. And also the other perks will be appearing more frequently due to that. Next up, in terms of future plans, we have Primal Dragons. While playtesting this update on Alpha, they ran into many large-scale performance issues. Unfortunately, they have decided to shelve this update for the time being due to these issues. I am totally fine with this. I'm going to be honest, the update was not the strongest to begin with. It was a little bit gimmicky, I do admit, and the armor set was definitely contentious at the very least. I am very thankful for the communication. It is super nice to see the admins talking to us about this. I very much appreciate this, and it is totally fine that they're not able to release it. Once again, completely understandable. The next thing up is many major and minor mining changes. Say that 5 times fast. Since the glaciate tunnels back in March, they have been working on several improvements to mining as a whole in preparation for part 2 of the glaciate tunnels. This update includes many things, including a crystal Nucleus RNG meter, new forge slots, and new dwarven vanilla ores in the royal mines, coal, iron, diamond, etc. This update is scheduled to hit alpha soon for balancing and bug fixing. Very, very nice. I know the new Nucleus RNG meter is going to make people incredibly happy. Forge slots are great. We've needed these for years. I hope it's at least 3 or 4 more, maybe even double the amount of them. I am incredibly happy about hearing, about all this. Once again, communication is what we needed, and they very much did so here. And that doesn't even talk about the last part of the update, which is foraging and hunting. Since the last design thread, we have made significant progress on the foraging updates. We'd be ready to launch it on alpha if not for some technical difficulties with the latest versions. Consequently, we still can't provide a precise release date. We would like to explain our issues with latest versions further in the near future should time allow. On the bright side, this extra time allows us to further design and develop the hunting update, which we would prefer to release alongside foraging. We've reviewed all your feedback on hunting and made several adjustments. We're excited to share more details with you soon. This is absolutely incredible to hear for multiple reasons. Number 1, they're communicating with us. I can't stress this enough, this is super great for the game. Number 2, the fact that they are already ready to launch the foraging updates on alpha, if not for technical difficulties, is a great thing. That means they're in the bug fixing and fixing in general part of the update. The content itself is already made, and that means that it could be on alpha within weeks, if not a couple weeks, if anything. I would guess it would probably be a little bit longer than that. They haven't given us a precise release date, but regardless, I'm incredibly happy about this. Thank you for communicating with us. Even without a precise release date, I think the vast majority of the community is incredibly happy about this info. In terms of the hunting update, I am wondering what changes they have made to it, but I hope they are pretty solid, and based on this new communication, I do have faith in it being pretty solid, so hopefully we hear some more about it very, very soon. Also, special thank you to Skyblock Nerds for help on the main part of the Better Mayors update. They did a lot of stuff here. I will give them credit where it's due. They made a pretty banger update, so excellent job to them. Overall, I cannot stress enough how much I appreciate that the admins are actually communicating with us. Even without release dates, I am just incredibly thankful for the fact that we hear about updates at all. Things like the Foraging update being in a near complete state to be put on alpha is excellent, and I really hope we see it pretty soon. But for now, I imagine that they're going to be working on fixing it up and trying to get it as good as possible, so waiting a little bit longer is totally fine, especially with something like Mining V5 at this point, seemingly on the way, with some pretty great changes. I would love to hear what you guys think in the comments section down below. Are you really happy about this? Are you upset about the fact that RNG meter is going to exist for Alloy for some reason? I would love to hear your thoughts. Make sure you like and subscribe if you did enjoy this video, as working on it was pretty hectic, and I've got to say, I really enjoy these update day videos. At the end of the day though, my name is Derailious, thank you so much for watching this video till the end, and look to the future fellas, I'll see you then.